Hey guys, welcome back to Digital Gigger. If you're new to this channel is about helping you work from anywhere and making extra money. And in today's video, I'm updating you guys on how I've been doing with the stock market and all the ups and downs that I've experienced in the last couple months.
Digital Gigger, work from anywhere in the gig economy.
So let's get into it. So a few months ago, I opened a Wealthsimple brokerage account. This is the equivalent of Robinhood in the States, where you don't pay any brokerage fees. The only thing you have to be careful, as I mentioned in a previous video, is that if you trade in US stocks, that the exchange rate sometimes fluctuates so much that you think you're going to be profitable, and when you cash out, you're not. So you have to be careful with that. But other than that, when I purchased stocks in the Canadian market and the money was at par, I had no issues, and I actually made money on quite a few shares of stock that I bought. And I just want to share the experience with you guys and kind of review some of the strategies that I use to make some money.
Making money in a situation like this is to position yourself now before the settlement, because by the time you read about it in the Wall Street Journal, it's already too late.
So what I did is I put $1,000 into the Wealthsimple account. And if you don't have a Wealthsimple account and you are in Canada, there's a link in the description box below that'll add some extra money to your account if you start an account with Wealthsimple. But once I opened this account, the good thing about it was that it didn't charge me any brokerage fees. So that meant that every trade I made in Canadian dollars, whatever I made, I was keeping, and I didn't have to pay a fee to Wealthsimple. So that meant that my $1,000, my goal was, and I mentioned in the previous video, was to make $25 in profit, cash out, and keep the original $1,000 to invest in further stocks. So every once in a while, I'll be taking out $25 and making sure that I only keep $1,000 in that account. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to take the profits out and keep that in a separate account for now, so I can track my progress. And I don't want to lose the whole $1,000, by the way, so I want to make sure that I'm kind of keeping track of everything and keeping profits separate for now. So what I started to do was buy more expensive, I'd say blue chip stocks that were stable, that weren't going to be fluctuating so much in the marketplace that I would lose my initial $1,000 investment. And what happened with that? So the first month of shares that I bought were all in companies that were really highly regarded and didn't fluctuate much. So that also meant that to make a profit on each of these shares, one, I didn't have too many of each individual company because the share prices were high. And two, when they did move up slightly, even a few cents or whatever it might be, I didn't have enough shares to actually make a few dollars or whatever to cash out and get out of that trade. So it would take a very long time to be profitable on the more expensive stocks, because you're moving in such small amounts and you don't have a lot of shares to capture that small momentum. So if this makes sense, I'm not a stock trader by any means, and this was just an experiment to show you guys that you can make money if you're creative and you start to learn things on your own. So I'm trying to figure out the stock market and how it works and how I can make some extra money. So let me give you the breakdown. I put in $1,000 at the beginning of, I'd say it was October or so, and since then those $1,000 had generated $125 in profit every time I've removed the money from the stocks. And the reason it took a few months to get $125 was because I was playing it safe and I didn't want to lose the original $1,000. So it did take me I think 4 months now to make $125, which might seem like it's not a great thing, like what, you made only $120, but you know, if you put that money in the bank and you're earning about a 1% interest rate or 2%, you'd still only walk away with 20 so odd dollars for the year in interest. So that $1,000 has actually made me $125, which is way more than I would have made had I put that money in a savings account. So I'm still ahead, and I'm still pretty happy with the results because I haven't lost my original investment, and it's still making money, and the year's not out. By the time this time in October, I don't know what I'll be at, but if I've already made $125, and if I keep the strategy that I'm using and I can double that, that $1,000 might have generated me by the end of the year at least $200 or $300. I hope you follow me what I'm saying on that, because if I had put the money in the savings account, I'm lucky if I had $20 extra at the end of the year in interest. So it has been moving, it has been making money, but the thing that you have to be careful with is the shares and the waiting out periods, because sometimes it takes a few days. You can't just sell your shares when it's down. You have to hold on and try to keep those shares active until they move again and then sell. So that was my strategy. I never sold low. I only sold when there was a bit of a profit, and if there was a company that was giving me a bit of a hard time and I was almost at the break-even point, then I might sell it because there might be another investment that I could recoup my losses and get on and keep making money. But I wouldn't lose a lot. It'd be like really less than $1, a couple dollars. I just wanted to keep it that money floating back into my accounts so that I can trade on other stocks that might be moving. So I did that for the first few months, and in the last week, and this is why I made this video and I want to share it with you guys, is that I bought penny stocks. So I bought a few stocks that were in between 50 cents to $2, and with $1,000 you can get a whole bunch of shares of these companies. So that means that if they just move up 1 penny, you might make a couple dollars. So if you sell them right away and you have your limits set, and you can program that into the app that you can set what you want to sell it for, if it triggers, then you might be ahead and make some money. So at the end of this week, I actually made more money from trading penny stocks in the same amount of time in the week's period, for an example, than I did with buying blue chip stocks or more safer investments. The reason being is that it just took a slight movement of a penny or two, and I had made $10 in one shot compared to waiting out a week or so and only making $1 off some of those other shares because I didn't have a lot of them to start with. But there is more risk because you're playing with stocks of companies that aren't as successful as the other ones that I was investing in. So they could go bankrupt, they could go out of business. There's a whole bunch of factors that play in when you buy penny stocks, and that's why they're at that low price. So you have to be careful, and you have to know how much you really want to lose on each particular investment in penny stocks. So I've been limiting it to about $300 to $400. I mean, I don't want to lose $300 or $400. Maybe I might lose it on paper because the stocks could go down, way down, and stay there for a long time. The only way I'll really lose is if that company actually goes out of business and the stock never recovers. So if I'm out $300 and it takes a while to recover, then it's part of playing the game and understanding how the stock market works, and it's part of my education that I will take that loss and move on. But I want to limit my losses. So for now, I'm just playing a few penny stocks here and still keeping it safe. So the whole investment isn't all in penny stocks. It's still got a good portfolio of stocks that are doing well. And even if I don't sell them right away, I'll still get dividends on some of those more expensive stocks. And I try to buy dividend paying stocks just because of that reason, that if the market goes down and I'm losing paper value of the shares, that company is still going to pay me a dividend, and when they bounce back up, I'm going to make my money back and be able to recoup my losses. But it's interesting playing the penny stock market, and I could see how a lot of guys do this full time and want to be full-time day traders, because there is such a fluctuation in the market that just a little gain when you have a whole bunch of shares is a substantial amount. Now, some of the people that have more money and you're playing with $50,000 or $100,000 and buying better stocks, you will see good gains on some of those more expensive stocks because you'll have more stocks that will bounce up when the prices go up. So I would say that for me, I'm not at that level. I'm still learning the stock trading game, and $1,000 is where I want to be at for now. But it's been pretty interesting, and I think that you guys should try and learn as much as you can about the stock market. I mean, there are a lot of people that make extra money with purchasing stocks, and it is a career for some people. So, I mean, this is what it's all about when you're an entrepreneur, when you're doing things and you're learning. I like to take things, learn it, apply, and do. I don't want to just read about how to invest in stocks, but I never do it myself. I'll take the loss. I don't mind taking a loss. It's about learning and trying to figure out things. So if I hadn't done this, I wouldn't have made $125 so far on that $1,000 investment, and I would have learned about the fluctuation of the market. It's interesting to see when stocks peak and different time periods of the day when things move and don't move, and how certain days of the week have more traction than others. And it's all these things that I'm picking up because I'm constantly looking at the app and playing with these other stocks that most likely with time, as I learn more about the market, will gain a lot in value. But for now, even the small gains, I'm just looking and seeing, hey, look at that, and learning how to follow the news. I'm looking up these stocks, trying to read about the companies that I'm investing in. I'm doing the research. So I'm learning so much in such a short period of time. So in 4 months that I've been doing this, I've learned so much that it's one of those things that you have to apply and do. And that's what I encourage you guys to go out there, be the best you can be, learn everything you can about whatever thing interests you, and you never know. You might be profitable, you might be able to make extra money off something that you didn't know a lot about, and then you start learning and learning, and you do it, and now you're getting good at it and getting better at it. So that's my take on playing the stock market for this week. And I'll keep updating these videos as I go into the stock market with more gusto, if you want to call it, or gusto, or I don't know what the word is, but I'm going to put more effort into it and keep learning. So if you guys have any tips, drop them down in the comment box below. And if you want a Wealthsimple account, don't forget to check out the link in the description box. And of course, we'd love you to subscribe to the channel and be part of the Digital Giger community. We're always constantly putting up content to help you figure out ways to make money and to work from anywhere. So if you hit the like button, that also helps us, because it helps us get noticed in the YouTube algorithm, and the little notification bell will let you know when the next video goes up. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll keep updating you guys with more stock stuff as I get into it. And hey, have a great day, guys. See you guys.